Welcome in on this Tuesday morning. I'm Janae Hancock here with Taylor Johnson. How's it going, Taylor?
I'm hanging in there, Janae. I think I might need another cup of coffee. How are you, my friend?
You know what? I'm still sipping on my coffee right now. We do have a lot of news to get to. We do want to start off with some breaking news that just made its way into our newsroom. You're taking a look at this police K-9. We have some terrible news to share with you, but also the good news is he is expected to make a full recovery. I do want to put that out there first, but a Kansas K-9 is recovering after being stabbed early this morning. The Kansas City, Kansas Police Department was dispatched to a home in the 900 block of Riverview at around 3:45 this morning. Now, at the home, officers spoke with a person who said a family member who had returned after an early assault involving a knife. When officers tried to approach the home to talk to the man, he barricaded himself inside. The Shawnee Police Department brought a K-9 officer who you see here on your screen to the scene, and when officers went inside the home to take the man into custody, the dog was stabbed. Shawnee police confirmed the dog's name is K-9 Dagger. That's who you see here on your screen. He joined the force back in 2023, and again, he was taken to a local vet and is expected to make a full recovery. But we hate to hear this in any capacity, Taylor.
Yes, we're glad to know that he is going to be okay, especially, we worry about our officers when they put their lives on the line, but, also our canines as well.
Yeah, for sure. So we will continue to stay keep you posted on that. I do want to move to some other news that is happening today, actually. It is election day, and on both sides of the state line, actually, Kansas City, Kansas is taking its next step towards its future as voters are heading to the polls to choose a new mayor for the united government. Election officials say voters are noticing, and turnout is a lot higher for this mayoral race than the last one 4 years ago. KCTV5's Nathan Brennan joins us from Open Door Baptist Church in KCK this morning as voting gets underway.
Good morning to voters across the Kansas City metro. Whether you're on the Kansas side of the state line or the Missouri side of the state line, this is your reminder that your polls will close later tonight at 7 o'clock. Good morning, I'm Nathan Brennan. As you can see, I'm here at Open Door Baptist Church in KCK. The voting sign has been out since early this morning. We've seen several volunteers walk through these doors as well. Now, KCK, Wyandotte County, it's an important day because Kansas City, Kansas will soon have a new mayor. If you are voting in KCK and Wyandotte County, you will notice that there are 6 candidates that will be on your ballot. The top 2 vote getters from today's primary election will head to the general election. You will vote later in November. Now, there are several races to keep in mind, specifically here in the state of Kansas, but also in the state of Missouri. You can head to our website, kctv5.com. We have a full election guide listed. It will show you your polling location. It will also show you some of the questions that will be on your ballot, no matter where you are in the Kansas City metro. Specifically here in KCK, I want to mention it one more time too. You can head to our streaming platforms. You can head to KCTV5 Plus. There was a public forum that was held a couple weeks ago. It was actually moderated by our very own Bill Hurlbrink. He asked every single one of those candidates that showed up, 4 of those candidates that went to that forum, what they thought on a number of important issues in Wyandotte County. Before you head to the polls, if you want to check out that public forum, you can just head again to our streaming services. But here's your final reminder. If you're in Missouri, if you're in Kansas, you have until 7 o'clock later tonight to head to the polls and make your voice heard.
And that was KCTV5's Nathan Brennan reporting. Again, that election day guide is currently posted on our homepage, kctv5.com. You can also download the KCTV5 News app. And again, polls close both in Kansas and Missouri at 7 p.m. And if you are still in line, be sure to stay in line when the polls close at 7.
Yes, always so important to make sure your voice is heard. And in this next story, it's also related to that. September 30th, that's when you'll decide whether or not to recall Jackson County Executive Frank White. There are concerns to address before that decision gets made. With so much political back and forth, it can be hard for voters to understand what's even going on. So KCTV5's Morgan Rydell, she joins us from the Jackson County Courthouse to help break it all down.
I'm Morgan Rydell. A judge has decided that the recall election for County Executive Frank White will be held September 30th. An ordinance was passed by legislators here to hold this election, but that doesn't include money. The election board estimates this to be about $2 million, so finding the cost for that will be the next steps here. There's also a lot of questions about what would happen after that election and who could take his spot. Leaders here say they just want to get back to governing until voters have their voices heard.
Again, that was Morgan Rydell. Now, on White's side of things, he does say that this all stems back to failed stadium subsidies, something he's not willing to do unless Jackson County gets the fair deal he feels it deserves.
A fallen officer beloved by many will be laid to rest next week. Funeral plans are in place for Wyandotte County Deputy Elijah Mink. He was killed in the line of duty late last month. The funeral will take place next Monday, August 11th at Children's Mercy Park in KCK. Services will begin at 11 in the morning that day. The sheriff's office says parking lots open at 9, stadium gates open at 10. A procession will follow the services. The route will be announced at a later time.
Another lawsuit has been filed in the partial collapse of a Family Dollar store in Kansas City. I'm sure you remember this. 69-year-old Larry Banks was killed in the collapse, and his wife filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the company. She claims Family Dollar didn't do enough after the roof was spotted sagging or when a support pillar was damaged in a crash in 2016. A survivor of the collapse has also filed her own lawsuit.
And turning to national news now, a Confederate statue that was toppled during the Black Lives Matter protests back in 2020 will be reinstalled by the Trump administration. The National Park Service made the announcement on Monday. The bronze statue depicts Albert Pike, a Confederate general and leader of the Freemasons who fought to protect slavery during the Civil War. It stood on the grounds near the U.S. Capitol and was the only statue in D.C. that honored a Confederate official. The 11-foot statue was vandalized, toppled, and set on fire in June of 2020. It's been in storage ever since. The Park Service is targeting restoration and reinstallment to be complete in October.
We're continuing to follow this story out of Texas, where dozens of Democrats there are hunkering down despite Governor Greg Abbott's orders to have them arrested. State lawmakers fled over the weekend to block a vote on redrawn congressional maps. It would allow Texas Republicans to pick up more seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. CBS News' Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
There will be consequences.
After more than 50 Democratic lawmakers fled Texas, the state's governor, Greg Abbott, now says he's ordered state police to arrest them, and he has directed Texas Rangers to open an investigation, claiming some of them may have accepted bribes to leave. This after the absent Democrats broke quorum, slamming the brakes on GOP-led efforts backed by President Trump to redraw the state's congressional maps in order to pick up 5 congressional seats.
You don't get to change the rules and say, I'm going to redraw these districts because I want to make sure that I stay in power.
Texas Republican lawmakers say the tactic will delay but not derail their work.
Whether it's tomorrow or next week, the House will complete its required duties.
The Texas House also approved civil arrest warrants for the dozens of Democrats who fled, though Texas law enforcement do not have jurisdiction outside of the state to force their return. Meanwhile, some Democratic governors, like California's Gavin Newsom, say they're working to redraw their state's maps should Texas follow through.
We're going to fight fire with fire.
The slowdown in the Texas legislature has also stalled relief bills for communities hit hard by last month's deadly floods.
It don't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. Come together.
Flood victims are urging lawmakers to put people before party politics. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And this fight could soon cross several state borders. A plan is also being floated in the state of Missouri to split up Kansas City's congressional district. This could make it harder for Democrat Emanuel Cleaver to win re-election. Currently, there is 8 congressional districts across the state of Missouri, 6 lean Republican, 2 lean Democrat. Park U political science professor Matt Harris says if Missouri Republicans really want to do this, there's not much Democrats can do to stop it.
Mez came up after the last census. Republicans, there was some talk about a 7-to-1 map. They decided not to do it. So I guess the question is, do they have the unity, the willpower to do it?
Now, in response to Republican moves, Democrats in California are threatening to redraw their congressional districts to add more seats with a Democratic advantage.
About a week ago, 2 separate ICE raids at El Toro local restaurants in Lenexa and KCK. They put our community on high alert. And today, one of the nation's largest Latino groups is set to start a multi-day Beacons of Change conference. Unidos is the organization behind the conference with 300 affiliates across the country. Events get underway at the Kansas City Convention Center from 1 to 7 this afternoon. And to give you a scope of the event, some speakers include former presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke, best-selling author and advocate Cristina Jimenez, Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas, and many more. Immigration policy and enforcement is top of mind in our community right now because not only did ICE conduct those raids, but they also arrested a man they claim was a dangerous illegal immigrant in our community with Mexican gang ties. Unidos' message to us last week is that the focus isn't on the fact that ICE arrests are happening, but it's how they're happening. This conference will go through Thursday.
And over the next 2 weeks, most kids will go back to school. I know some of them are not happy about that. We know preparing for that can get expensive for many of you. So KCTV5's Betsy Webster shows us how some of Kansas City's finest are helping students get ready for the first day of class.
The Police Athletic League is passing out more than just notepads, pencils, and backpacks like this one. Jesus Pitch, you like that one? They're also thinking of other things that can stretch a family's budget during back-to-school time.
8 hairstylists volunteered their time for boys and girls cuts. Because when you look good, you feel good.
How do you want it to look?
Just like Ronaldo.
Just like Ronaldo. Do you play soccer?
Yeah.
So does Shania Collins. That's why she's here to get the sports physical required by the state.
We paid $75 last time we went, and it was just, I'm happy that we get to do it free here.
The 25 volunteer medical professionals here are making sure kids don't get excluded from sports because of concerns about money or medical access.
And honestly, for us, it's a great thing because it may be the only time that we get a medical professional in front of our kids.
The KCPD's PAL has been doing this event for more than a decade. The executive director said last year they had 1,200 families attend, and he says every year the number grows. In Kansas City, Missouri, Betsy Webster, KCTV 5 News.
You know, Janae, we talked so much about like what did we want to wear on the first day or like our favorite school supplies, but the hairstyle, okay, that was important too.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you, like, what did you do to get ready for the first day of school? And I'm talking, I mean, did you go to the doctor? Were you getting your hair done? I know for elementary school, the night before, my mom was like, I was sitting down on the floor and she'd be doing my hair. But going into high school, it was like, how do I want my hair? You know, it's like that independence. But what about you? What were you doing before?
Elementary school, you know, it was like the pigtails, the cornrows with the beads on the end. But in high school, my cousin, she was doing hair and she did really great, like spiral curls, like the roller sets. Yeah. So I loved a good roller set.
Yeah. So Taylor was getting her hair done too. And I know when going into high school and also middle school, it was just like, okay, I also need to get my nails done.
Oh, yeah.
So that's when my parents were really like, okay, we're dealing with a little diva here because she's like, not only she needs her hair done, she also needs her nails done. So I love this. I love that people are really coming together to make sure that these kids feel special and prepared for the school year.
Yeah, and like Betsy said, you know, when you look good, you feel good, and then it makes you want to perform well too because you feel confident.
Yeah, and then it gets them excited for the school year because I know when you go towards the end of summer, it's like, oh, do we really have to go back? But now it's something to look forward to. So I love that. Alrighty, well, shout out to those Kansas Cityans really coming together for the kids here in our community. We do have your weather update coming your way in just a few seconds. I do want to take a live look over the Kansas City area. Looks pretty good outside. It feels good, but we're going to leave that forecast up to meteorologist Melissa Meter. She'll join us here after the break.
everyone, meteorologist Melissa Meter here on your Tuesday. It is 10:15 out there. I'm going to take off this news headline here really quick. There we go. We're not talking news, we're talking weather. Let's talk a little bit about our weather today, and it's going to be a nice day out there. That's all. Really, one thing to take away for today is the niceness of the weather conditions. The last several days have been really nice. The only thing that has kind of put a damper on it, of course, was the air quality, the smoke and haze that filtered into our atmosphere, which put a little bit of a damper on what was a very seasonably cool stretch of weather that we had in the mid-70s, upper 70s, low 80s. Today, we continue on the warming trend. We are going to be getting warmer today. So keep in mind, it'll still be seasonally cooler than what we usually feel for this time of year, but 85 is a little bit warmer than we were yesterday. I will say I did take my dog out yesterday for a walk in the middle of the day around noon, and it was feeling a little toasty. So it was only 82 degrees yesterday. So I think I got a little bit too accustomed to the 70s that we had. But nonetheless, it's August. We know that this is happening. So 85 for today. We're right in the middle of the road, mid 80s. A really nice summer day. Honestly, today is probably my pick day of the next 7. Not too hot, not too cool, not too humid. Great day. There still is a little bit of that haze left out there. We'll talk about that in just a second, but a nice day is expected. On Wednesday, we start to rise those temperatures into the upper 80s. It's 89 degrees on Wednesday. That's about normal for this time of year. It will be partly cloudy, a little bit more cloud cover compared to today. There's a small rain chance for Wednesday. That looks like it's mainly going to be around the lunchtime hours or maybe the morning into the early lunchtime. We'll take a look at that. And then as we go into Wednesday, we start to see some higher humidity values start to creep in. Actual temperature will be higher. Mostly sunny conditions are expected. So 91 is back. The 90s are back by Thursday. Here's what temperatures will feel like for the next several days. We continue on that steady kind of climb for the heat and feels like conditions. Today we're feeling like the upper 80s. Wednesday really start to kick in that summer feel, that summer heat. That's in the mid 90s for feels like conditions. Thursday, Friday, Saturday looks to be the hottest at this point for feel like conditions as well as temperatures. So Thursday, we're feeling like the upper 90s to around 100. Friday will be the hottest temperature between about 100 to 104 degrees. And then on Saturday, we are back into the upper 90s. So by far, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the most hot and humid days that we are going to have. Here's a look outside right now of our Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing camera. It looks so beautiful out there right now. I'm loving seeing all the greens. The grass looks very green. Same with our trees. But as you can see, still a little bit of a haze out there. We are still seeing an easterly wind component of some sort. We had northeast the last couple of days. Now it's southeast. So once we get more to a south-southwest flow, we should kick out any of that haze out of the area. But it's lingering over our area at this point. It's not like what we saw over the weekend. Mainly going to probably see it from afar versus right up close. But just know that there is still some of that haze here in our atmosphere. Right now, temperatures are in the mid 70s. It's 76 right now. There's that south-southeast wind component around 9 miles per hour. Mostly sunny conditions. Today's going to be a really beautiful day. I think overall, get out and enjoy it. Let's take a look at our muggy meter here because we are going to see, as I mentioned, kind of that rise in that heat and humidity. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, going to be the hottest kind of point of time for us. But really, today we are in the a bit humid category, and we're about middle of the road in the a bit humid category. And if you look up towards the muggy to a bit humid where it crosses over, that's the line where we're going to be. So we may see a peak on Friday and also on Monday, but pretty much once we get to tomorrow, the humidity you're feeling out there, that's the humidity that's hanging around through the rest of the 7-day forecast. So today, not as humid as it will be over the next several days, but you may feel a little bit of a difference tomorrow. And so the mugginess, it's coming back around. We talked about those feels like temperatures, and now I want to discuss a little bit more about our rain chances for this week. They're low, but they're there. 20% chance for Wednesday and Thursday. We're dry on Friday. Saturday and Sunday brings a upped chance to about 30%. So low rain chances overall here. We're kind of in a quiet pattern. However, Saturday and Sunday, we are watching for that potential to see kind of raised rain and thunderstorm chances, especially because, one, it's the weekend. Two, this is likely going to be some of the kids' last summer weekend before they go back to school. So we're watching the weekend very closely. 30% chance for some rain and storms right now at this point, both days. I will tell you, though, that Saturday is looking like it's mainly late evening into the overnight. So most of the day on Saturday is looking dry at this point. It's Saturday night into the day on Sunday that has a better chance for some rain and storms. So at this point, pretty spotty. But I will show you a longer range model, which of course is going to make it look a lot more widespread, but it has some of that timing. Some of that timing that you can see is mainly in the evening to the overnight. So here's a look. Keep in mind, this is our longer range model here. It's taking a second to load. Hold on. There we go. Let me rewind it. So here we are, Saturday night. We start to see those rain chances build through the overnight, and then we'll continue into Saturday. So we could see some pockets of heavy rainfall with this, kind of on the higher end. We are seeing some models put up between about a half to an inch and a half of rain. Once again, today is Tuesday. That is Saturday and Sunday. A lot can change between now and then. This is what we're seeing right now. There's also potential to see some strong to severe storms. We are monitoring what looks like to be a kind of severe signal for the weekend for both Saturday and Sunday. Once again, we're going to continue to update you on all of these factors as we continue to fine-tune the forecast. I'm updating you here of what we're seeing now, but as we go through the coming days, we'll get more of a clear picture on what to expect for the weekend. Wednesday's chance for rain, that's pretty spotty, and it's looking like it's mainly in our northern areas. We usually get a new model in right now. Let's take a look. If we can make it into Wednesday. Here we go. This is pretty much on par with what we had seen or what I was seeing this morning. So Wednesday's rain chance looks like between about 6 a.m. We see a system that drops in from our north, from all the way up into the Dakotas, down through Nebraska, and then into our area. So here we are at 6 a.m. Generally seeing activity swoop along and north of I-70. So as you can see, it kind of falls apart before it gets here. If it does get here and holds together, that's going to be likely between about mid-morning and into the early lunchtime hours. Then the rest of the day, things are pretty quiet. Then we start to build into Thursday. Very similar situation into the early morning along the I-70 corridor and north, and then pushes out. So a few small chances for rain. If you live in our northern areas, Maryville, Bethany, higher chances for you to see rain and thunderstorm activity for your Wednesday and Thursday. If you live along I-70 in the metro, small 20% chance at this point. Now, of course, if we continue to see this hold together, if it starts to hold together on certain model runs, we will, of course, then raise that rain chance and then let you all know. So a few small chances for rain. Best chance is going to be on Saturday night and into Sunday through the day on Sunday. Here's a look at these temperatures right now. It's just really nice out. I'm excited to get out and about and enjoy the weather today. We're going to be in the mid 70s at this point. 75 in Chillicothe, 76 in Kansas City, 78 in Garnett, and close to 80 degrees in Clinton, but mid 70s in Bethany and Atchison. So really nice out. There's a little bit of humidity, though, which we talked about, but that'll be okay. It's August in Missouri. We know that that's what we're going to get. Oops, this isn't updated to this specific hour. Let's go in here and fix this. Just an hour late here to get you a little pool planner, because today, honestly, is going to be a pretty nice day to be at the pool, if I do say so myself. Looks like this is Oh, let's see. There we go. Sorry, this is taking me a second here. Okay. Dun, da, da, da. There we go. So we are going to be in the upper 70s by 11 o'clock, mid 80s by 2. Of course, that high temperature will be at 85. However, we'll be closer to the upper 80s. Some of us will feel more like the lower 90s today. And then tomorrow, and of course, as we go through the next several, we all start feeling like the 90s to triple digits. 85 is our high temperature today. We'll be in the mid 80s once again by 5, low 80s by 8, and mid 70s by 11. So should be a really nice day out there. If you notice, there are some periods where we see a little bit more cloud cover than others. I think that is going to be a possibility when we start to get to peak heating of the day. A few clouds may bubble up in the area, but otherwise, sunshine really is expected for the day today. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast and show you what we've got going on really for the next several days here. We also are having the Monarchs that are playing too for today. Mid 80s for first pitch, and then at the end of the game in the upper 70s. All right, here's that 7-day forecast for you. We talked about that heat building back in over the next 3 days. There's Friday. Friday is going to be the hottest day of the next 7. 93 will be our high temperature. Then we slowly start to kind of chip away 1 degree just about each day, 1 or 2 degrees. We're in the 90s still on Saturday, 30% chance for some rain and storms, upper 80s on Sunday and on Monday. So, as you can see, we linger with the chance for some rain over the weekend and into the start of Monday. Monday is also the start of school for many communities, many areas. So temperatures will be summer-like, upper 80s, likely going to feel like the 90s. There is that 30% chance for some rain and thunderstorm activity that we are watching very closely. That's just a little under a week away. So if we see any changes here, we'll be sure to let you know, first warn you for any new information that we learn. And if it could be impactful to the first day of school, we will certainly let you know. What I do want to point out, though, is our low temperatures. Our low temperatures have been in the lower 60s, which has been very comfortable and offering a little bit of relief from what was a long heat wave. But as you notice, not so much low 60s left on the overnight low temperatures. We will be, getting back into our average to above average temperatures for the morning. We're in the low 70s on Thursday morning, mid 70s on Friday morning, and then hanging out in the 70s for those morning temperatures, even as we get into the weekend, only falling into the upper 60s by Monday. So we're not, the heat is back. It's back during the day. It's back during the night. We're not seeing as much relief overnight. The air conditioners are going to be back rocking and rolling once again. I know my air conditioner was very thankful that it was not working for the last several days, but it got a nice little break and now it's going to start working again. So heat and humidity will be back. We're on a steady warming trend. We're back to around normal temperatures with a few days that are going to be above our normal. But overall, this 7-day forecast, when we think about where we were for the month of July was a lot going on between flash flooding, heavy rainfall, long prolonged heat waves, heat index values of 105 to 115 degrees. This is pretty quiet. Mid 80s. Lower 90s, some days with some clouds, some days with not, and a few small rain chances mixed in there. We may be feeling like the triple digits during some days. However, compared to what we saw in July, this is more of a typical quiet weather pattern that we're getting here. And it's got a little bit more of a summer feel. Now, of course, that little break that we had over the weekend was nice, but some people may want that summer heat back, and we're going to have it. So that's the latest update I've got for you this morning for your weather. Get out and enjoy the day today. And Janae and Taylor will be back after a short break.
Welcome back in on this Tuesday morning, and welcome in to What is Trending. We are here with Evany Bing. Evany, how's it going?
Everything is fabulous. How are you guys today?
Doing well.
I'm glad
And you
to
know,
be back.
yes, I know she wasn't here with
I
us
missed
last
it last
week. And you know what? We were talking about Beyonce last week, and here we are again. I have to start off with this news. I want to take a look at this video.
Okay.
This ad was just released. Okay, so in an Instagram post yesterday, it actually shows a collaboration between Levi's and obviously Queen Bee. But at the beginning of the ad, she's seen riding in on a horse, and at the end of it, she's seen riding out on a motorcycle. So some people think that this is a hint. You see it right there, to a rock themed album. And even you actually said this last week. Even he knows best.
You heard it first here. But yeah, okay, that has been the rumor for quite some time that she's coming out with a rock album. I would really love to see it. And also, I'm reminiscing about when Beyonce first came out. I don't know what album it was. I kind of feel like it was 4. Maybe, where there were behind the scenes footage of her going on tour, and Tina Turner popped up on her.
Oh, yes.
And so I was like, that would be so nice if like Beyonce did a rock album.
Yeah.
And I think that we might get it, but you know, she of course is going to get backlash.
Right.
The country stuff, I'm still salty about that, because anybody can try any kind of music and they should be able to express themselves, because music is an art. But I'm very excited to see what Beyonce has up her sleeve.
Oh my gosh, that means another tour could possibly be on the way for you,
there.
Taylor.
I will be there too, because I missed Renaissance. I missed this one, Cowboy Carter, and so I will not miss the 3rd. I have never seen Beyonce. I have to see her.
Right, yeah.
I never saw Britney Spears, and that still makes me sad to this day. Like the major icons, I think I've only seen like maybe Justin Bieber, Janet Jackson. Like that's really it. So
I mean, that's iconic too, seeing Janet Jackson. But definitely, but definitely Beyonce. And you know what? If she makes her way to Kansas City, I will definitely make my way to the concert.
I don't know if she's gonna come back.
You don't think so?
No, she has
Those
something
tickets
against
didn't even
us.
sell out, I feel like, as much as the other cities, because I was watching, because Beyonce's shows, at least for me, are so good that you kind of want to see it again, right?
Yes.
And so I went to Renaissance in her hometown. And then when I got back, I was like, maybe I should go to the Kansas City one as well. And it was still like a lot of tickets left. They were still affordable.
That's true. Yeah.
Because I think she used to do St. Louis, so she might go back to doing that. But Cowboy Carter, though, she didn't go to as many places.
Right. That was a select
more
one.
Select.
You want to know what? Beyonce is getting older. The kids are getting older. It's going to be harder for her to travel. I predicted that it was going to be a rock album. Now I'm predicting that this is going to be a residency in Vegas.
I would love that.
I would go because I love Vegas.
I do too. Well, I have a love-hate relationship with Vegas, but yes, I'm there, baby.
I think it's worth traveling there for a concert. I mean, look at her last Cowboy Carter show, and how I was throwing up because I wasn't there.
We were all upset.
So we'll just have to wait and see exactly what comes of this. But she likes the hidden Easter eggs. Like she puts a hint out there, and then you just have to go for it and see what
at it too.
She's good at it too. Her and Taylor, I don't know who is on their team that they can find or make up these Easter eggs for the fans to find.
Yeah.
I have a job. I don't have time to hunt for these Easter eggs, so I'm gonna let everybody else do it. The Beehive, the Swifties, go for it.
Yeah, they love to get people riled up, and it is definitely getting a lot of people's reaction on social media this morning. That's why I text you, Evany. I'm like, we have to talk about this. All right, so moving along, talking about social media. Speaking of, this video was posted on Instagram yesterday. You taking part in the Nicki Minaj challenge. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes. Okay. So Nicki Minaj, back in 2013, she has this song called "High School" featuring Lil Wayne. And by the pool, it's one shot in the music video, and she's standing by the pool in this little bikini, and she actually is in this stance, and she's wearing Christian Louboutins. And so this has gone viral. This hashtag Nicki Minaj challenge has been used about 115,000 times just in the past week. And so you are seeing different variations of this challenge. People standing on weights. I saw this man perched on, there's Kerrigan. I saw this man perched on, you know, where they have the stoplights, like the
yes,
pole.
I saw that.
He was perched on there. Where I've seen some very interesting things.
Yeah.
My coworkers, you know, Kerrigan, she's very brave.
That stool is scaring me.
The stool is scaring me, and her heels are already high.
Yes.
Yeah.
My coworkers talked me down from a lot of items that I was planning on standing on, and so I was like, fine, I will just stand in the studio, and I did it quickly before my boss showed up. But yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, yours was good. But
Thank
you know
you.
what? I've seen people standing on top of like bottles, like
Yes.
tequila bottles. And I'm like, how are you even doing this? I have no balance. So the way I would never do this. So kudos to
Come
you.
with me to
Ebony.
yoga.
I do go to yoga, but that's the thing. It's like, this is a whole nother level. Like when we talk about that man who was on like the light pole,
Yes.
that's
I think if you
insane
had the
to
right
me.
pair of shoes though, because like I think I
Yeah.
could do it in Kerrigan's shoes, like
Yeah,
the
she has a little platform
Yes,
there.
that's
you
true.
know? And Louboutins are painful, so it's like
Very painful. I
shout
was
out to
going to pull
Nikki.
mine out, but you know what? Over the weekend when I wore mine, I got stuck in an escalator. So we are not
Ebony.
doing that. They are
Ebony,
too
we need to
expensive.
talk about your shoe.
Did you have another shoe situation recently?
I have many shoe situations. My shoes have been falling apart. That's more of a reason for me to buy some more.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we love that for you. Okay, so something else. I don't really know much about this, but Katy Perry.
Yeah, so Katy Perry has a new man now. I don't know if you guys heard, but her and Orlando Bloom, they had been together for about 9 years. They have a little girl. I believe she's about 3 years old, maybe 2.5. And so it was very interesting that all of a sudden they split. And so Katy Perry is on tour right now. I don't know where she finds the time to date, but my girl is dipping and doing it with Justin Trudeau. I know I'm saying his last name wrong, but he is the former Prime Minister
Of Canada.
Oh,
my
wow.
goodness.
Yes.
Talk about some tea.
I was like, where have I
know.
heard that name from?
Yes,
That's
you know
wild.
this man. And so she was in Canada for a tour stop, and they were spotted walking his dog out to eat.
That's intimate.
And she had, it is very
That's
intimate to
intimate.
walk. Yeah,
Yes.
it is. And then she had a sold out show, and he actually came, and he was having the time of his life. Yes. He actually was divorced back in 2023. He has 3 daughters. And I just want to know and be a fly on the wall. What did the daughters think about dad dating Katy
pop
Perry?
star.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
awesome.
that's kind of like Taylor Swift too. I mean, what Travis Kelce's nieces and not nieces? Well, yeah, nieces. Yeah. What do they think about it? So
they're still pretty young, but
Yeah.
it is pretty cool. Like they probably just see her as Taylor, and like their friends would freak out. So it's
Yeah.
very interesting to see like through the eyes of kids like how they view celebrity.
Right.
But it's just a weird situation. So we'll see if it works. There's sources saying that it's a very new relationship, and they're just trying to see where things go. They do have a common bond with music, which what in the world is on his playlist?
Right.
But it's interesting if he's maybe rocking out to "I Kissed a Girl."
That is funny.
Maybe that's his
Katy.
jam. So
Yeah.
No,
It's like
that-
if you're going to leave Orlando Bloom, you might as well just, try to take it up some
try and
levels.
level up. Yeah, no,
I
for
was-
sure. But that was not on my bingo card for
No,
this
and
year.
I was rooting for her and Orlando
Yeah.
Bloom. I just don't know what happened, but she likes them tall, dark, and handsome.
She has a type.
She has a type.
She was with Russell Brand, though, wasn't she?
She
Now, that
was,
a little
and-
off.
yeah.
And he's very problematic. He's about to have some things come out, probably on Diddy's level. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's coming out soon. But yeah, very interesting. Her male
Yeah.
choices.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Alrighty, so I do want to move along because this one I have some thoughts about.
Oh man.
Let's get into
Okay,
it.
Matt Rife. Okay, are you guys horror movie fans?
I am.
No.
I am.
I watched Final Destination 5 the other day, and I was dreaming about it.
Oh,
So I think I
man.
need to let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Do not visit what he is selling. This is Matt Rife. He is one of the youngest comedians to sell out Madison Square Garden. So he's very successful within his own right. And he is now the legal owner of the doll Annabelle. So Ed and Lorraine Warren, they have a museum, and in it are different artifacts that most of these horror movies are based on. And so him and his friend have purchased this home, so they are now the legal guardians of Annabelle the doll. If you don't know much about Annabelle the doll, she is believed to be possessed, and I'm not trying to find out. I believe it all.
Yes.
And actually she was on tour, and she has to be transported by somebody on tour. They have to use like holy water, holy oil, a lot of prayer, and it's just it's very specific how they tore this doll. The man that was taking her on tour, that was brave enough to do it, all of a sudden he dropped dead.
Right.
Wait, so I'm a little confused. That looked like Raggedy Ann. I thought Annabelle was the pigtail, scary looking doll.
Okay.
Or is the movie doll based off of
The movie
Raggedy
doll
Ann?
is based off of this doll. This is the
Oh.
original Annabelle. There's been many variations. I know what you're talking about
Yeah.
because she came to the radio station. I was holding her like a
Oh, no,
yeah,
Ebony.
I got a picture.
The
with
way
her.
I just looked at you to make sure I heard her correctly.
So not this one. And you want to know what? I had a Raggedy Ann doll that looked much like that doll, but this one is almost life size. Like if she was sitting by us, she'd probably like come up to our shoulder. And the story is like a nurse gave it to one of her patients. The patient started to see the doll moving. The friend made fun of the doll. The friend ended up dead. You see how big the doll is.
Okay, but here's what I'm seeing also on social media. People pointed out how the doll turned. Look at how the doll is like kind of facing him.
Annabelle is saying, you better buckle up, Matt Rife. And let me tell you this, keep on playing with these spirits and this paranormal activity. Do you guys remember Post Malone and what happened to him?
No.
Post Malone, there is a box called, I believe, I can't pronounce it correctly, the Zybuk box, ZYBUK. It's believed to be the most possessed item on Earth. And it's at that Zach Bragan's, it's that paranormal museum that he has in Las Vegas. Well, Post Malone was playing with that box, and he ended up getting into his plane, had to do an emergency landing because the tires and everything blew out. I believe the cockpit got smoke, and then also he got into a very high speed accident in his very expensive car, and then he had a home invasion. I don't know what he did to get those spirits off of him, because he's very successful within his own right too, but
I don't even feel right looking at those photos anymore. Like I feel like she's gonna come after me at this point.
I wanted Freddy, but I can't do like the what do they call it when they bring in the priest?
Yes,
the exorcism, type stuff.
Amityville Horror.
Well, I feel like a lot of the scary movies are now very demonic.
Yes, they are.
And I just like I can do Friday the 13th. I can do those type of movies, but like they're just it's a little too much for me.
It's very
and
scary.
I'm not getting a doll like this.
No.
So, oof.
And you want to know what? Before on my way here, actually, the family members of Lorraine and Ed Warren, he did make a statement on Instagram saying that he is not happy with Matt Rife purchasing and becoming the legal guardian of this doll, because he feels like it's going to bring attention that people are not going to respect these spirits. And the whole point of what his grandparents did was to, help people. And he thinks that people are going to use it as a spectacle. He didn't even want that doll to be toured around. And so this is serious business. Look at how big the doll is. It's you're not supposed to touch that doll.
Well, look, I keep some holy oil in my house. So
I know Taylor's probably thinking of Labubu's right now.
I would take a Labubu over the Annabelle doll.
Oh yeah, it's getting a little It's I guess we'll hear more.
It's all very scary, but Matt Rife, buckle up.
Buckle up, literally. Yeah,
we are gonna pray.
Better him than me. Okay, well, since we are talking about like Halloween movies and stuff, and just spirits, I guess, what would be your favorite scary movie?
Old school Poltergeist. I used to watch that all the time on HBO when I was little. That was one of like the first scary movies. And you want to know what? Back in the day, VH1 had I Love the 80s, I Love the 90s. And they did a background story on that movie. And I found out that really weird things were happening on set. A lot of people passed away within filming of that movie. And then also there's a scene where she's like with all these skeletons, and it's filled with it looks ridiculous because of the special effects, but it looks like she's in jello swimming around or something. Those are actual skeletons that they use in the movie. Creepy.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
creepy.
No thanks.
Yeah.
So I would say the last like movie that made me kind of like scream and jolt, and it's not really a horror movie, but it's like an alien movie. It's the Lupita was just in another rendition of it. A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
Man.
Oh, that used to like take me out.
Yeah, those movies are crazy.
Yeah.
A Quiet Place.
It was silent the whole time, wasn't it?
Yeah, you couldn't make any noise, and then it's like if you did, you just know when they were coming or where they were coming from, and I was just like,
that monster was scary.
Yeah. I would probably say, Annabelle is a little too much for me. I would probably say Friday the 13th.
Really?
I don't.
I've never
it's
seen
just
it.
Really.
Have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, a lot. I'm not a movie girly,
Okay.
but I like. I'm not going to say like trash movies, but I like more comedy, silly movies.
Yeah.
My favorite movie is Good Burgers and Good Burger and Harry Potter.
And Harry Potter. Alrighty. Well, Ebony, remind our viewers where they can follow you on social media.
Yes, you can follow me on X, Instagram, and TikTok at It's Bingy Baby. You can listen to me on Power 105.1 from 10 until 3. I'm giving away Hot Dog Festival tickets this weekend. It's going down.
Awesome. And go check out her Nicki Minaj challenge video as well. Ebony, we want to thank you so much for joining us here at the live desk for What's Trending.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. So I want to put this on the record for you all as my witness. This next story, I think Janae's setting me up for.
Look at me smiling.
She knows she is. But okay.
It's not that bad today. It's not that bad.
And I don't look at these just to like keep the element of surprise here.
Yes.
Humor Janae.
As she should.
So here we go. All right. So would you eat them here? Oh, look at that. Would you eat them there? Would you eat them anywhere? Just in time for back to school, Hormel and Dr. Seuss have teamed up to launch a limited edition green eggs and Spam classic twin pack. It comes in this collectible can and is only available at Walmart for a limited time. The collab celebrates the 65th anniversary of Dr. Seuss's beloved book, Green Eggs and Ham. So wait, do the eggs do green eggs come in there, or is it just the Spam?
No, the green eggs don't come with it. It's just the Spam.
Okay.
Which I have never tried, by the way.
I've never had Spam either.
Really? Okay,
No.
so maybe this wasn't a great kicker.
I
But
know it's
I've
like
never,
a Southern thing.
Yeah.
Have you had it's something that's like Spam?
I will
Oh
say
my
that my
gosh.
dad, while you're thinking about that, my
can't think of the
dad
name of
used
it.
to eat Spam as a kid. He tells me this all the time. But I have never tried it. But the green eggs don't come with it. And honestly, now that we're talking about this, when they had like Dr. Seuss Day, did you ever have like green eggs and ham? Did they ever serve you that in school? Because they didn't.
I feel like I don't think that they did.
Yeah, we were missing out because
I
I'm starting to see
know.
that with kids today, like my nieces and stuff. And I'm like, I did not have that as a kid. So that's pretty
No.
cool.
I don't even think I had this book. I did have a number of Dr. Seuss books.
You didn't have this book?
I remember having like Go Dog Go.
This is like the classic one, though.
I know. I feel like that one, The Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
And then like, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Or,
Yeah,
like, the
those are
main
good ones. Those are good ones. But
I had
we
Hop
know,
on Pop.
Yeah. We know what we're getting you for Christmas.
Green
So
eggs
whoever
and
her
ham.
secret Santa is, she needs the green eggs and ham Dr. Seuss.
And hold the Spam. I don't want the Spam.
Hold the Spam. She still needs
Yes.
to try it, though.
There was some other pork thing. I cannot remember the name of it. But it was just like Spam. And I've had that before, but I cannot think of the name of it.
No.
Which is probably good.
Yeah.
Because I probably don't need it.
All right. Well, no, and you know what? This story is actually very timely because kids are getting ready to go back to
Yes,
school.
they
So this is a classic,
are.
and hopefully they get their green eggs and ham this year for those students because I know I was missing out on it as a child.
Sam, I am. I do not like green eggs and
See,
Spam.
she even knows. All righty, we know what we are getting you for Christmas. All righty, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. As far as Facebook and YouTube are concerned, we also have the Chiefs press conference coming your way here shortly. We will bring you that live on Facebook and YouTube as soon as that live shot pops up from our crews in St. Joe. We'll be right back.